Welcome, everyone, to the Simply Subjective podcast and live show. We are live on TikTok every Thursday at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. I'm Abby. This is Rado, and Gloomy Girl is in the background running on her wheel.
I can hear her. She's hauling ass.
She's running for her life right now.
Okay, it's catch up time. Obviously, now that Gloomy has made the entrance that she has, tell us about this crazy cat.
Okay, everyone, I have very exciting news. So we got Gloom and Bones, their cat wheel. I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast before, but we got them a cat wheel, and it came in probably 3 weeks ago. It did not like it at first, and I was very sad, but I kind of expected that. It took them a second to get them on the cat wheel itself. Like, I had to give them a lot of treats the first night just to get on the cat wheel and not be scared of it. And then fast forward probably the next day, then I was able to kind of get them to walk when I had a treat in front of them. And we did that for like 2 weeks straight, and they just would like not go on their wheel. And it was making me sad because I felt like this wasn't going to work. And I was confident that Bones was going to be the one that would just get it, and Gloom would learn later. But then one magical night earlier this week, Gloom just all of a sudden started running, like full blown running sprints on the cat wheel. I have never been so proud of my life. To the point now, Gloom runs on this cat wheel all day, and I played back the cameras to see how many times she ran in one day, and I was caught that she was running at 5 a.m. before we woke up. She got up out of bed and just was running on her cat wheel at 5 a.m., which was the cutest, most impressive thing I've ever seen in my life. It made me like so happy. And then meanwhile, Bones doesn't care about it still. She will only go on it with a treat.
I would have assumed that it would have been the opposite. That
Same.
Bones would be the runner and Gloom would be like, hell no.
I know. That's what I thought too. Bones is the one that's like way more outgoing and active and playful. Bones is like, she doesn't really care about it. So we're still working on Bones. I was hoping too that once she saw Gloomy running, it would spark something in her, but she just doesn't really care. Yet. So we're working hard on her now.
I gotta say that the video of watching Gloom run is one, I'm actually pretty impressed that she had it in her to run like that.
I know.
And two, she definitely looks weird as hell running like she does on that thing.
She puts her like ears back and is like full blown flying on it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's kind of looks like a big giant naked rat running on a treadmill. But she hauls ass. I'm impressed.
I know. It's a very proud mom moment. The whole household is just so impressed. We're very excited for her.
One of the funniest things that I saw in that video, the one that she got up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and got on it, is like when she started walking, she literally jumps, like drop kicks it to like kickstart it, and then just started running. I was like,
yeah,
I didn't know she had all that in her at all.
She's pretty good, and she's pretty fast. It's hilarious to watch.
I think it's cool and awesome, especially them getting exercise. But
I know.
now that she's in it, like, how annoying is the noise when she's running? Is it super loud?
Well, the thing is that you can hear it, but at night she sleeps with us, so it's not like she's waking up really in the middle of the night doing it. We usually wake up at
in the morning.
I wake up at like 5:15, five
Okay.
thirty, so it's not that much early. So I'm like, so she is kind of used to
That's when
that
she's getting up
routine.
anyways.
Yeah, yeah. So I think what happened is my alarm goes off at 5, so I probably snoozed it and then didn't realize she got up, and then she was like, "All right, time to wake up." But no, other than that, I mean, and it's really easy to move, so we can like throw it in our room if we need to, or just like put it out. But it's not that bad. I mean, it more so just makes me the happiest ever that she's actually putting it in use and like getting exercise in.
I mean, I didn't see it coming from her, and I'm very impressed.
Me
So
too.
she's probably going to lose a bunch of
Also,
weight.
well, first of all, she doesn't need to lose weight. But
Oh, okay.
second of all, also she's a lot nicer to her sister now, which is insane. Like I think she's getting like happy endorphins or something. Like she's being a lot nicer to Bones lately.
Maybe I was going to ask if you had an idea why, but that might be it. It might literally be because she's like getting all of whatever she needs to out. So,
I think so. So it's been life changing for us this last week. Very big things
dang,
happening. Yep.
that's crazy. My week was not crazy. I say that in the sense that I lost some money. Can't talk about it too much, but yeah, definitely lost some money this last weekend. That was stressful. But
Yeah.
all in all, I realized here's what's crazy in situations where you might have something serious like that happen on a negative. The days that followed it were so many other positives in other aspects of my life. So it just always makes me be like, all right, look, I didn't really have like a bad day. I had a bad moment. The rest of my days have been like great, a lot of positive things. But here's the funny thing that made me think about it. I first time I ever won in Vegas and took some money home and was like kicking some ass and I was like hell yeah, and then like 2 days later I lose it all to something stupid and it's like Vegas knew you weren't
I
getting
was
out of
gonna
here.
say it's really this is just ironic that like wasn't it last week's episode where we were talking about how you won money and now
Hmm.
this week's episode we're talking about how you lost money.
Yeah, I ended
I
up down
mean,
after getting back from Vegas one way or another. So
yeah.
I think that there was like some sort of Vegas voodoo on me and it was like it just was too good. So like it was crazy, but I mean
I do
realistically,
I do really love how positive though you're being about it all. It's a
I
very
appreciate it.
great way to look at it. It's a very shitty situation for just anything to like lose money or anything like that.
Yeah.
So you being positive is just really refreshing and a good reminder about when bad things happen.
Thank you. It took a few people to remind me, though, as well, that things were like fine and good. So my positivity also comes from them, and I appreciate everybody that was like, "You're good, bro. It's fine."
I don't. I probably wasn't one of those people. I think I was like, man, that sucks. Like I was all, damn, that is really shitty. Like
it was probably in the form of Abby, but like at the same time, like it's that's you, right? That's just like damn, you know. Have you ever seen
yeah.
I don't remember who Kevin Hart was interviewing, very famous actor. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. Um, and Kevin Hart asked him how old he was, and I think he said 58. And Kevin Hart was
Yes.
like, "Damn!" And then he was like, "Sorry, sorry, sorry."
Yep.
And then they were like having that conversation, dude.
I don't remember who I
That's
remember
you.
that I remember that perfectly. I don't remember who he's interviewing though. But I love
His
it. It's a
name's
really funny one.
yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue of what his name is, but he is a good actor. But that was what followed after the suit. He's like, "No, man." I was like, "Damn," and he's like, "No, they were
It's like,
completely
no.
so good."
Oh my
But yeah,
gosh.
so nothing crazy. That was mine. I definitely would have taken the cat noise over that this week for sure.
Yeah, we have every week we have very different weekly catch ups, but
That's
well, I
that's
guess
it.
we'll see what next week is.
Yeah, 100%. So for this week, guys, little switch up. We are getting into some trending topics about things that are going on. We have some pretty interesting, exciting stories this week as well. And yeah, I'll go ahead and let Abby get into it.
All right. We're doing a few trending topics this week. So I will start with one of the trending topics. Um, Rado, did you know that Brad Pitt turned 60?
I mean, I do now, and like, let me tell you how crazy it is to think of him at 60 years old. Like
Mm,
60. Like Brad Pitt's not 60 to me.
I know. I love
See,
Brad
your eye
Pitt.
nose are different than my eye nose.
I also know that, but I love Brad Pitt. I just watched him in Bullet Train and he was amazing. He is like so hot still, and I don't know if
All right.
I don't think there's any other 60-year-old I could like say that about. So,
You know what? I give it to him. I love Brad Pitt. What's your favorite Brad Pitt movie? Like whether you like the movie or not, where like your Brad Pitt is your favorite character, let's say in that movie.
oh, I don't know that answer.
I've got one,
That's a
big
good
time.
question. What's yours?
Snatch.
I haven't seen that.
Not everybody knows Snatch, and it's also one of my favorite movies as well. It's a Guy Ritchie movie, and
Oh,
the
I love Guy
best thing,
Ritchie.
yeah, but Brad Pitt plays what they call a pikey, which essentially they're Irish, but they're gypsies.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also a bare knuckle boxer. So think of Fight Club, like his physique in Fight Club.
Mm-hmm.
Still kind of the same, but this is a Guy Ritchie movie, so it's 100 times. Fight Club was phenomenal, so I can't say 100 times. It was better than Fight Club. He's so good.
Okay, you liked it more, yes.
But that, and I like Brad Pitt in Fight Club too.
Okay. Well, I was going to tell you what People magazine said about his birthday party. It says that the actor and his girlfriend Inez were photographed Tuesday evening at a party held in his honor at Mother Wolf in Los Angeles with close friends in attendance. And it says attendees were spotted holding various pieces of artwork while leaving the celebration, and one guest was seen carrying a large photo of Pitt. And I feel like I want that photo. I wonder what it was.
I'm more curious if, like, okay, it's a large photo of Pitt, but then also they were taking out various pieces of artwork.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it was like part of the party or something. Like I think his
Do you think?
isn't his girlfriend like an artist as well?
I don't know who Inez is. Yeah, I don't know.
We'll have to look that
Maybe,
up.
but what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can tell
she's an
you,
artist and a model, I believe.
well, I hope that all the pieces of art were literally all pieces of Brad Pitt art.
I hope so too.
That's what I
But
could assume. Maybe.
but regardless, 60 years old, still so fine, and I still love him.
You know what I noticed about Brad Pitt as he is doing newer movies is like,
Mhm.
have you seen what's the one he just did with Leonardo DiCaprio? That was like in California. Anyways, I can't remember it
Oh, wait.
because he Tarantino did a movie.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Thank you. Yeah, I was gonna say because they did Once Upon a Time in Mexico a long time ago. So like
Mm.
the person that Brad Pitt played in that movie was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, he
Um,
was great.
like when he fought Bruce Lee, like that whole was so ridiculous. It was the whole fighting scene was so ridiculous, but Brad Pitt just is so funny. Anyways, yeah, love
I'm
the
a
guy.
big Brad Pitt fan, so. Do
Hell
you want
yeah.
to tell number two's trending
Yeah, this is so
topic?
crazy to me. I, listen, no. It's funny that this story is something that almost essentially could be how my weekend went. So I can't really dish them too much dirt because essentially I have also made weird mistakes like this. But so a family, I think a grandmother or mother, they purchased $10,000 of Disney gift cards only to find out that it was for Disney Plus, the streaming service. Like how? How do you
That
do that?
sounds like a nightmare. Why? First of all, before even going further into this, I would never put $10,000 on any gift card. I don't care what it was. Like that just seems so. I don't. I hate to say irresponsible, but it's just like it's gift cards don't work sometimes. There are
How
issues. Like I
many?
would never do that.
I'm just more curious how many gift cards are it? Is it like they're all $1,000 and she's got 10 of them, or are they all like $100 and she's got like 1,000 cards? I don't know. It's stupid. That sounds
Also,
stupid
I
to
didn't
me.
even know Disneyland had gift cards.
I mean, I could see it, but let me explain what she bought all the cards for, and it's going to sound even more ridiculous. So this is from People Magazine. So TikToker Andy Costin shared a now viral TikTok where she gave real-time updates on her family's Disney vacation, beginning by explaining that the big family trip was originally scheduled for 2020 and subsequently posted after the pandemic hit. They were finally able to plan it for this Christmas, the one that's coming up now. And all 16 of my family members were going. So to save money, this is, I don't know why you would, how you would save money, but to save
I don't
money, my
understand
parents,
this.
right, their parents bought $10,000 in Disney gift cards to purchase their plane tickets, restaurant reservations, things for the trip. How does a gift card save money on any of that? No idea. Um, so when they went home this weekend, they were having problems loading the gift cards correctly to actually purchase the tickets. And then they looked at the physical gift card itself and it revealed that they were for the Disney Plus streaming service and not for use related to the theme park. And this was that they
Insane.
were leaving in 6 days, essentially. So this just happened. Um, how? I just, what's the reason? How, the story itself of like, oh, we're going to save money by buying gift cards?
I
I
don't
don't
I
see it.
don't understand how that saves money at all. And again, like why why pre-purchase a gift card when you'd like and again, this was in 2020. Why wouldn't they call to like check in on this, be like, "Hey, are these still good?" Like this is years ago. Um it just sounds like
It's
not
just,
real. But
yeah. Well, if you're literally buying a gift card for $100, the gift card's worth $100. I've never bought a gift card where it was like Disney. If you buy $100 gift card, we'll give you $20 for the food or something. I mean, maybe they have those. I don't think I've ever
I don't
seen.
think so. Well, regardless, like it didn't say any of that because this was for Disney Plus, so it's not like it had
Yeah,
options. Like I also don't know where they got that they were gonna get money for. It says restaurant reservations. Like that doesn't even make sense.
I don't know.
Um, it all
It's
doesn't
definitely
make
crazy
sense
to
to
me.
me.
Now, however, Disney did make it up to them, and it actually was even in less than 24 hours after her first TikTok about the situation was posted. Andy was able to find a resolution, and Disney reached out to the family and were able to turn the $10,000 worth of streaming gift cards into $10,000 for the actual parks for the gift
Whoever
cards.
whoever had to deal with that situation, I'm like, they were probably like, how do you get this wrong? They were probably like, this is not real. Like, that's
Have you,
insane.
have you been to the grocery store where they have like a section where it's just like they have a bunch of gift cards like
Hmm.
loaded up, or they're like hundreds, whatever, but they're for different um whatever restaurants things. That's
Yeah.
probably what they found. Like saw the Disney gift cards and just started like grabbing them, and they were all for like Disney Plus. I don't know. That's crazy.
Just dropped 10,000 at a grocery
Like
store.
yeah,
I like
okay.
that you started that question with have you ever gone to a grocery store, but that can be for another
All right.
topic.
Okay, so this one is crazy to me. So there, listen, if we if I butcher this dude's name, it's bound to happen. But if anybody has been seeing on the news right now, the Hermes billionaire,
You could just say
he was.
Hermes.
Can I
You don't
not
have
roll my
to.
tongues?
I mean, you could just
Hermes.
say,
I guess it's my
you could
R's.
just say,
Hermes.
I don't think that's how
Hermes.
anyone pronounces it. It's just Hermes.
Here's the problem though. Like when I do say Spanish names, I'm so used to like actually trying to
Is
roll
it?
my R's and stuff. I think he's no, he's French. Is he
I was
French?
just gonna say, is Hermes
Damn.
Spanish?
Okay.
I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we rolling the R's? What is the logic?
Okay. He's not Spanish. He's French. Oh my God. That's hilarious.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
So the French billionaire, he was adopting his gardener and essentially was looking to leave him half his fortune. So after looking this up, this is insane. I didn't know this is like one of the third largest families, or third richest families in the world or something. Like
Something
13
like
billion
that.
dollars. I don't know, it's crazy. So, a descendant of Europe's richest family has reportedly begun the process to adopt his middle-aged former gardener. Middle-aged gardener,
I was gonna
middle-aged.
say that's very specific. I'm like, okay, go on.
This dude's got to be like 40 years old. Planning to leave him at least half of his roughly $13 billion fortune. Swiss newspapers reported the news earlier this month, describing the potential heir as, I think it was Puech. Yeah, Puech's servant, former gardener, and handyman. The Hermes family is the world's third wealthiest, according to an annual Bloomberg ranking published earlier this month. Um,
That's amazing.
Listen, it just goes to show you that you could have a good, solid, like job, like a normal middle class job, and meet a billionaire and work for him and get in on that will.
I love the story. I think that's amazing. I also read too that he doesn't have any kids or anything, so that kind of helps, I guess, clear up some kind of
Oh,
confusion. But regardless, I think that's very sweet, and I love that story.
you know what? Good for him. Obviously, that gardener was more than just a gardener. He was probably a friend that stuck around as he got older and didn't have anyone or something, I bet. Probably
Well,
like his only friend.
well, I did see this post, and then I decided to read the comments section. And a lot of people are like, oh, that wasn't just his gardener. It made me laugh. But a lot of people have a lot of speculation saying that there was like more to it. But obviously, that none of that's facts. That's just people in the comments trolling. But it is funny to
I
read
mean,
some of the things.
if you don't have anybody to give it to, and that person's been around you for your whole life, then
I agree.
that's they could probably very well be family, and they don't have to make it seem like a romantic situation. You just,
Just a good old handyman. Should we move on?
I mean, we could in that context we could not use handyman, and we could just
That's what
keep it
CNN said.
gardening.
No, 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 no.
Okay,
They said, I like that they called him, they went from servant to a former gardener to handyman.
servant. Why did they
That's what
call him
it
a
says.
servant?
I don't know. And we're reading off of what freaking CNN said. Who
A
knows?
good old
Those
the
are pretty extremes, but you know.
yeah. Mm, perfect.
Do we want to do our red flag, green flag now?
Yeah, because these are always the best, and my answers are always right.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I
that took
think
a turn.
have we ever disagreed on a flag yet?
I don't think so.
I don't think so
That's
either.
kind of surprising, I would say.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the whole reason we started this podcast is because we felt very differently about certain things.
Maybe we should start telling the chat and our listeners to not only submit questions to us, but they can also submit red flag, green flags and see
Oh,
what we think.
yeah, I'm always
That's a
down
good
for a good
idea.
suggestion on a red flag, green flag.
Yeah, so if you're watching or listening, you can email us at simplysubjectivepod podcast@gmail.com, or you can DM our Simply Subjective IG account. Give us a red flag, green flag, and we will do it for the next episode.
I love that. Great idea.
All right. All right. For the first one, a red flag, green flag. It says, it thinks you are perfect. You cannot do anything wrong.
I'm
I
curious
want
to
to know
see
what
what you
you
think on
think.
this. See, you go first. You go first.
Okay. Well, if we want to think with my heart, I will say that's a green flag. I want that. But logically, that would be a red flag. Like, that can't be true. You can't. Everyone does something wrong sometimes. As much as I want the person, in my significant other, to live in a little bubble thinking that I'm perfect, that's not sustainable and that's not healthy. So I will give that a red flag.
But you really want it to be a green flag. I can
I
tell.
want it to be a green flag.
You want, like, I can see it in your eyes as you're talking about it, where you're like,
Like
I need to be
lighting up.
carried by six men, like down in like the pathway, and
Sure, we could make that happen, I guess.
Arabian night. That's what I like. I don't know
I don't know
why I
how
think
that
that.
turned there, but
I don't know.
okay.
You just the vibes you're putting off. Listen, it shouldn't be good. It's got to be a red flag. You shouldn't put people on pedestals. And if you do, it's super unhealthy because at some point, you mentioned it, like you're going to mess up at some point, and if they're like so obsessed and putting you on a pedestal and you're perfect, like that could be detrimental to them, and then it could be even worse if they like put that into their emotions back towards you, right? Like, I don't think
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
I agree. We will both give that a red flag, I suppose. But sometimes it can be
You,
green. Anyway,
yeah,
number two, red flag or green flag, not wanting to label the relationship after a few months of dating.
it's hard. I think at my age, like, I don't think I'd want to label anything after a few months right now. Like, I could take a little bit longer. I mean, if it was, I guess it depended like how serious it felt, but I feel like it would, for me personally, at my age, if a woman didn't really want to put a label on it after a few months of seeing each other, right now I'd be okay with it.
That's so funny you say that because I thought you were going to say the opposite. Like, at my age, I don't have time to be playing games and whatever.
Oh,
You're all, at my age, we can't label it. I'm like, well, when is that the thing? That seems like the opposite to me. In my head, I'm like, yeah, I'm too old to be playing games and like, let's just get to the point. What are we? What are we not? You know? I mean, obviously, I don't agree with rushing things, but like, I don't know, not labeling feels somewhat of a red flag.
I mean, I get it. It could go either way. I feel like it should lean that way, but I might be that red flag right now in somebody's life. So, whoops.
It's the only way it would be a green flag is if you're both on the same page and not wanting to label it and just having fun. So
That I agree on.
that's
That I
the only
agree
way
on.
I can give it a green flag. But if you're wanting more and you're like telling them that you want more and they're not labeling it, then that's a red flag. You should not stick around for anything that's not serving you.
Well, I think you kind of put a good point there too, right? At some point, somebody in that party might get to where they're like, "Hey, I'm super serious about you. Like, where are you?"
Mm-hmm.
And like that's either I think where it's like I'm not there and like don't want to label it, or if you do kind of be like, "Yeah, I do really feel that way," and then you don't want to label it again, it could be, you know, a red flag for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think you need to be like, "Yo, uh, I'm like gonna chill for a little bit and
Yeah. I think
do
we're
my
on the
thing."
same page.
Okay,
We
I
started
like it.
off not on the same page, but I think we ended up on the same
We're
page.
there. We're
Um,
there.
Number three, red flag or green flag. can't stop talking about themselves. I think we're both going to give that a red flag already from the start. What I mean, wait, are we not? Wait, you need a break right now? What are you doing? Is this a red flag or a
I was
green
just
flag? I need
listening.
answers. Oh.
Um, I'm going to give you a red flag on that one. Specifically, um, the people that like to talk about themselves are also people that like to one up, I think. They're
Oh
always the
my
person.
God, don't get me started
Am I
about one
right?
upping. I hate one uppers. That's
Do you
the
think that's
worst
from
type of
people that,
person.
yeah, I think it would be people that talk about themselves because the minute you start being like, oh, I did this, they always pop in and they always start talking about themselves. They love it.
They always have it worse than you. They always have it
Hmm.
better than you, no matter what. It's just like it's draining to be around those type of people. So yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. That's the biggest red flag.
Yeah. If you can't stop talking about yourself all the time, um, which I feel like,
Yeah.
honestly, and you got to be honest with me, is I feel like that happens in LA. I feel like everybody has to feel like they got to one up each other out there. Do you
I
get
think
that vibe?
LA. I think LA is very competitive. I agree, yes, but I think it a lot of it has to do with who you surround yourself with. When I
Facts.
was moving here, I got told from so many people that LA has just like the worst people. They're gonna stab you in the back. They're always gonna do this or that. And I'm like, I surround myself with great positive people, and I can say the complete opposite actually is that we are all working for something better, and everyone in my life and everyone I've met, I can only say positive things. Like
That's great.
everyone's so encouraging, so helpful. Someone's already done what you're wanting to do and they'll help you. Like everyone's like very uplifting. So I've only had really good positive experiences, not saying that that's the case for everyone. It's just who you surround yourself with and
So if you go to
whatnot.
LA and want to meet and find good people, just hit up Abby. She'll direct you.
Just come hang out with me, yeah, my friends. We're all good.
I like it.
Okay. Number 4, they often mention the future. Hmm. I like that. I think that's a
Yeah.
green flag. Talking about the future is great. You should think about the future, so mentioning it sounds good.
I think it's good. Obviously, it shows that they have a plan in place. They're thinking about what they want to do. The other part of adding to that green flag is, are they going to act on it now? Are they going to put it into
True.
motion? Because there's a lot of people that are
Mm,
dreamers, and that's okay. It's a green flag to me if you're a dreamer. Um,
yeah,
but you got to also at some point become a doer.
I agree. Our last red flag, green flag. So red flag or green flag, they are very critical about other people.
I'm a,
Hmm.
I'd give that a red flag to me. I feel like if somebody's critical about people, they're constantly judging,
Mm-hmm.
probably. It's just like, and if you're critical about other people, there's probably jealousy as well.
True.
And
Yeah,
so I feel like
I
those
could
are the
see
people
that.
that kind of talk crap about people or kind of falls in, I would say, almost like can't stop talking about themselves are probably people that are critical of other people too.
I can see that. Yeah, I think it also depends on the like extent. If they're always doing that, if they're critical over everyone, then it's such a red flag. If
Yeah.
it's just here and there, I feel like I have a really good judgment on people. So like, I know from beginnings if we're gonna be friends, if we're not gonna be friends, I think you're a good person or not. Not saying that I'm always right, but I haven't been wrong yet. So I think you can have like a good judgment on people, but being critical, like that's a little
Yeah, and I want to put
extreme,
into
I guess.
perspective, there is being critical, and then there's fun critical, where I love like go hang out in Vegas or go drink, watch people, and talk a lot of crap about them and all the other things, and being like critical in
Oh,
those aspects. But you have a friend with you that you're usually doing this with, and you're kind of like,
yeah.
like, oh, look at
You
this guy,
always
or
got
you,
that one, you always have that one friend or whatever that you can just say whatever you think and want and be as critical
Mhm.
as you want, and they're on the same page as you and they don't judge you, and that's great to have that friendship, I think. But
Yeah,
if you're openly like just talking shit to everyone about everything,
yeah.
red flag.
Yeah, that's right. Talk shit with one friend and stop being
You
critical of
get
everybody
one
else.
friend.
You get
That's
one.
it.
Everybody gets one. I like it. I like it.
Oh man.
Um, that's perfect. So, what we have tonight is an audience question. We've dropped this down to one with some change up that we've done, and so again, like Abby said, if you want us to read your question, hit the email, hit the IG. And tonight's question that we have is, what is one thing you said you would never do, but now you do it?
Do you want to go first?
Um, I think there's probably a few things in my life that I felt like
Mm-hmm.
I said I would never do, um, but now I do it. And one of them is probably as I've gotten older. Um, I I don't want to say that I talk crap about the younger age in a sense.
You're critical.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to stay away from is not be critical. But remember when you were younger and like old people were always like talking like you dang kids and nobody has any respect and everything else and your
Yes.
generation. I'm like,
Please
no,
don't
my
tell me.
generation.
Oh no. Okay, go on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I'd be like, my generation is the shit. Like we ain't ever gonna be those. And now that I'm getting older and I hang out with older people, we're all like, F those kids, man. Like they're disrespectful. They're doing this. Like they're never gonna grow up.
So
Like
mean, Rado. You can't say that. They're the future.
I know, and I'm worried about the future. But I generation
Every
after generation.
generation is
I
always.
know.
It's the same thing.
I said I would never do it, and here I am.
I don't know that.
Get off my
This is a good
grass.
question. Okay.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
This is a good question, and I don't really know if this should be my. Sorry, Gloom got a burst of energy.
Did she eat it?
Um, no, she just sprints and then stops.
Oh,
Um, and I don't like. I guess I'm trying to figure out how to say this. I guess it wouldn't be that I like do it now. Maybe like I said, I would never stop doing it, which sounds so terrible. Probably like drinking and partying. Like I don't drink anymore. I used to drink and party and go out every weekend, and I was very social. And I was like, thought that people that talked bad about alcohol is just jealous and stupid. And now I'm like, I just really don't drink anymore, and I don't like it. So I guess that may. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not like fully sober, but I rarely ever drink anymore, which is a big change from how I was like a few years ago. So
this is just another thing that as you get older and your body can't take it, you're like,
yeah,
I'm gonna be young forever, and I'm gonna drink all I want to drink, and now it hurts, doesn't it?
yeah, I regret a lot of things.
It's
It's okay.
I think the things that we think when we're younger in general that we'll never do when we get older is because we don't see it. We haven't been through it enough yet.
True.
Um,
Yeah.
and I think then that's why we turn into our parents, and that's why because you have to experience, but it's the generational rollover that get off my lawn.
I hate that I know that you're this person now, but I still love you, and we'll work on it, and we'll work through it together.
I appreciate that. Well, we will see you guys next Thursday, which is going to be right after Christmas, isn't it?
It is. That's correct.
Wow. And guess what? Also, right before my birthday. Two things to
Oh
celebrate.
my God.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. For being honest here, I completely
Obviously,
forgot.
we are, yeah, we're not as close as we thought we were. So,
I know your birthday. I just like
oh,
wasn't
do
thinking
you?
that it was so close. Yeah, it's New Year's Eve. But don't even.
But like, also, it's the easiest birthday to remember for anybody in the world.
That's not true because for the first while, I second guessed myself so many times if it's New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Like that kind of messed with me. I'm all, is it the day or the eve? So it's not the easiest. It's the easiest to guess around, but like, you know.
December 31st is my birthday. If anybody who's listening to this podcast wants to subscribe, I will accept those birthday presents. Just saying.
I do remember once upon a time Rado asked for balloons for his birthday. So I think you could just drop your address and we'll all just send you some balloons.
Um, I'm gonna pass on the balloons, but appreciate it.
Oh, that's so weird.
Send
You
me your
really
little
wanted them.
pop-up balloons. Yeah, do the
That's so
confetti.
wild. Can't do that because you have an Android. So that is the end of our episode, everyone. Thank you
We'll
for
see you
being
next week.
here. We'll see you next week.